Good evening, Midwest Mania guests. This is Justin James here, and my guest tonight is Troy Fowler, aka the Ranch Fairy. How's it going, Troy?
Good, sir.
So, I've had you on in the past. We talked about that. We didn't. I'm more of a trad hunter. You shot a big pig with trad equipment. So
Yep.
you want to start out with that?
Yeah, so I actually have a pretty extensive trad background. I've killed 2 javelinas with flint hand tied on ash arrows that I built and hand tied the feathers and went total, over the rails. I did not have a self bow, but it was a laminated bow. But I did all the rest of it and shot 2 javelinas with flint. And the reason I went trad is I am the poster child for target panic.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff on trying to beat target panic, and it just seems like the message out there is, gut up, suck it up, be a big boy.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced that that's actually true. So I had target panic so bad with sights, and I'll come full circle with this because I shoot the EZV now and I do not have target panic anymore.
Gotcha.
That I gave up all of my compounds. Actually, I shot instinctive compound. I bought a long compound, a longer compound, like a 34 or 36-inch compound. I shot it with fingers, like the old days.
Yeah.
And I had a flipper rest and the whole 9 yards. I shot it canted. I shot it like a trad bow.
It worked.
And the nice thing about the velocity out of the thing was it was kind of point on it, 25.
Yeah.
Like it was, like I had one hold. If I stayed inside of 25, it was not going to be good for the life of the animals. And then I said, well, why don't I just go trad bow? So I bought long bows and got all into it. I had a Lakota quiver that went across your hips and the back.
Yeah.
Like I said, I shot stuff with flint points. I had bow quivers. I shot full woodies, carbon, all of it.
Yeah.
Built all my own stuff. And that was like a decade.
Did you take any white-tailed deer with that when you were shooting traditional?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I shot like 6 or 8 deer with it. I shot 7 black buck antelope with it, 2 or 3 sheep, a bunch of pigs. I shot one pig at 47 yards, not realizing across the canyon how far it was. And it's funny with the trad bow. If you don't think a lot, you pull off some miraculous stuff.
It's all muscle memory.
Right. And I had chased these Angora goats on this ranch back in this box canyon. They started coming out the other side. And I was like, that don't look that far. And I didn't think a wink about it, Justin. I just pulled back. And when I turned it loose, I went, holy smokes, that arrow's high in the air. And then I was shooting white fletchings, and the goat was white.
Yeah.
And I heard the arrow hit the mountain. On the side of the hill. It wasn't a mountain. Yeah. And I thought I missed. This thing goes 10 yards and then starts doing the dicky shuffle and rolls down the hill. I was like, holy smokes. It was a perfect hit. I mean, right above the elbow. It couldn't have been any better. You could have put an X on it, and that's where you wanted to hit it. It was hilarious. And then I've had some horrible misses.
Yeah.
That you should have never had done. But as I'm coming out of the trad thing, I start to get a compound again. I don't know why. This was like 2014, 15.
Yeah.
I start to explore the Ashby stuff. This is like I had a written thing. Like you had to read it. Like it wasn't like it is now.
It was like, wasn't on like I can't think of it. Not a thread, but like a forum, right?
It was on some very primitive version of the dialogue, right?
Yeah.
And you had to kind of piece together the stuff. So I figured out how to do the cut down method and bear shaft. That took me 3 days. And simply I wasn't patient enough because I didn't understand it. Now I can do it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I decided to build an Ed arrow Didn't know Ed. Now, this is 10 years, 12 years before I knew Ed. But I said, well, if he's shooting buffaloes with the stuff, I want to try this on pigs. So I built a 650 grain, 660 grain arrow. I got the exact Kodiak, Grizzly Kodiak that he shot, the 190, the big one.
Yeah.
I actually filed it down from 1 3/16 to like 1 1/8 or something.
Yeah.
He shot some that were 15/16 wide and said they were devastating.
That would just punch right through.
Right. I learned to sharpen. I learned to bear shaft. I got it flying. And I said, here we go. And I go strolling around the ranch looking for a test pig. And I wander up onto the pig, the biggest pig I've killed to date with anything. To today. 265-pounder. I walk around the corner. He's grazing across the pasture. I look and I go, oh, you got to be kidding. Like the grass is tall enough and he doesn't have legs. He's just a whiskey barrel. He's a 55-gallon drum coming across the pasture. I was like, that's a whale of a pig. So I creep up and this and that. And pigs can't really bend in the middle and they don't have a neck.
Yeah.
So when they turn to look at you, they swivel. Like they just rotate their whole body and their legs go back and they become a quartering to target.
Gotcha.
Just because they can't. Like a deer can stand broadside and lift his head and turn his head and look at you. It's got a long neck. The pig can't do that. And I am 17 yards away from him. And I go, okay, quartering in. That Ashby guy said, this is going to work. Now, mind you, I've been plunking them for a long time on a compound and not getting pass throughs every time, having weird performance with 400 grain arrows and stuff that were the shop spec.
Yeah.
All that's going through my head, and he's just looking at me like, what are you doing? I draw back, and I shoot him right on the point of the shoulder. Oh, hell, that arrow couldn't have been going 150.
Yeah.
21st century at 55 pounds and 66-inch longbow. It's no carbon strip inside. And the arrow makes a chut sound. And the fletchings disappear into him like he's not, it didn't shake or anything. I can replay it in my brain. And the fletchings disappearing. And I'm sitting there going, he's spinning in a circle. I think I broke his back. like in the pelvis. Yeah. I'm sitting there with my mouth hanging open going, the arrow disappeared. Like he isn't dead yet. My head's just going, what just happened? He runs, I get another arrow out, and he runs right in front of me. At about 5 yards, and I probably shoot like a foot over the top of it. So he goes lumbering off in the crap, and I didn't like the hit. It was 1/4 2. I had no experience with that shot. I'd shot him forward enough, but I didn't realize it. So I went back to camp, and we waited 4 hours. Yeah. And the broadhead had popped out of his hand. That's 5 feet of penetration. Yeah. We had a great blood trail. It wasn't, gushing, but you could walk it and just go, yeah. And when we got to him, the buzzards were sitting on him, and he wasn't quite dead yet. And I shot him in the back of the head with a 40 because he wasn't getting up. No. I just didn't want to sit there for 3 hours and wait for him to die. And put him in the scooter and hauled him off, took hero shots. But that's the first, adult, high 4 to center, single bevel kill I ever made. And I just remember that it just didn't make any sound when it hit him. It just cut. And the fletchings just went in him like they were going full speed. So, yeah, I have a huge background in trad. I don't know how many animals I shot with trad. 30, 40?
Have you made a video of it yet? Do you shoot the trad bow? Killing someone with it?
I have a tuning video for how to cut them down and tune that way
Yeah.
on my channel.
I think that's how
And-
I think I ended up finding you, to be honest with you, like a long time ago.
Mhm.
But yeah.
And trads are black. So I got a question for you.
All right. I might be
And
able
I've
to
asked
answer
a
it.
couple of trad guys over the years.
Okay.
What's up with the 40-pound bows?
Accuracy.
Hmm.
You're not like it's not. It doesn't break like a compound. You can pull back and you can hold it because it lets
No,
off.
I know. I fully loads.
Yeah.
I got that. But we always used to shoot 55. We
And
weren't shooting 70 or anything.
but like they're, I think with this newer material, like I have a custom bow. I bought it secondhand. I didn't buy it. I bought it off my buddy Jeremy.
I don't buy any bows new because there's so many of them out there that are great that
Yeah.
nobody wants.
This one was, it's a small shop out of Michigan. It's like River Rising or Rising River or something like that. And dude makes them out of his garage, but he goes to like all the big trad events every year. My buddy Shane from Great Plains knows him. The dude. He said he does hellacious work out of his garage. I picked this bow up for like $120. It was only like a year and 8 months old. The dude didn't like it, like the grip. My buddy bought like a allotment of bows and this was in it. So he goes, I got a bow for you. Try this. And that bow with a wood shaft. I'd never weighed it, but I know it's probably 10 grains per inch. If I'm shooting 5/16 shafts with a 125 grain field point on it, that bow is shooting like high 180s for speed.
Nice.
And it's 42 pounds at 20 inches. Granted, I have a 31-inch draw, or I should say
Yeah.
used to. It's more like 30 now, with my neck problems and all that. But like you said, like point on, my point on at 20 yards doesn't change. It's like there. There's hardly that's cut past center and all that, so I get away shooting a stiffer arrow, which I pick up. I can put heavier point up front without messing up people.
What diameter shafts are you shooting? Because we always shot 11/32.
Like when I shoot 3D, like whoever I know, and they're probably listening to this. Whoever I shoot like Midwest Archery Championship. It's called the MAC, the 3D series here in like northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. And sometimes I swear whoever sets the courses up for the trad guys either must hate us or they must be drunk, because they're setting targets out at like 28 yards and they're not supposed to over 20. With a trad bow, that's a long poke. And I switched to 5/16s because they shot a little bit straighter and they like speed wise. I'm shooting trad bow, I shouldn't be worried about speed, but it seems like they get there a little bit quicker.
You're not going.
No.
You're not splitting the difference there.
But
so I don't follow trad.
Yeah.
Is the trend now to have a light drawing bow that's also short?
Yeah, because people hunt on a ground block. That's it.
Short.
Yeah, I think my bow was like 62 or 60.
I shoot a 62-inch bow with a 30-inch drawing.
Yeah, and it don't stack.
Oh
It
my!
don't stack at all.
It's a reflex deflex.
It's a reflex deflex. And there's literally no hand track, and it's a takedown, which I could pack it. I had a I'm not gonna like name drop, but I had like a big box store bow, long bow, and it delaminated me last year right before like outdoor 3D season started. So I bought like one of those cheap Amazon ones because I've been off work for a while with this neck injury and shit like that, and I'm probably not going back to work because they're talking about doing another surgery. So money's tight. So I bought a PMZ archery longbow on Amazon, and that thing is a smooth shooter. But then I couldn't pass the deal on this bow, and that's a 62-inch bow, 64, I think. And
I can't get over the changes because I got one 64-inch bow that's made out of Osage orange.
Yep.
57 at 28. And when I shoot a trad bow, my draw length drops about 2 inches.
Yeah.
I pull 28 and a half with a compound. I shoot 26. The arrow I shoot's 400 spine, 350 up front, and 26 and 1/2, and I never get to the riser. So I've got kind of a I just hit my face and shoot like a shotgun. I don't.
Yeah. You shoot it instinctive pretty much.
But man, the 66-inch 21st century I've got is it is butter.
Yeah.
And you can shoot it from any position, and the thing just shoots them. It's so smooth.
Earlier this spring, it's where the MAC championship is this year. It's a sports club called Newark. It's like heading towards central Illinois, and they call it the goat path because it's all like bluffy. And I had to lean up against a tree with my foot, and had my foot on the stake, and I shot it, and I drove it. It wasn't on no 11 or anything like that, but it was it was a solid 8. And yeah, 3D it helps you. I think it helps you with target panic, but it doesn't. Nothing beats the real thing.
3D does good because you're shooting at an animal target, not spots. You get your brain trained.
Troy Fowler.
There's one Hans is in South Dakota, right?
Yes, Hans is in South Dakota. Sorry about that, Troy. It's my stepdad. What do you need?
Oh,
tornado down in South Dakota.
Yeah, he's driving to it right now.
Hans is?
Yeah. My buddy who works for the University of South Dakota, he's a water soil scientist, and he was out doing field research and got caught in a tornado.
Oh.
And that's what my stepdad just said. So,
that's no fun.
No. He just switched over he's to the dark side now. He bought a trad bow, and he's been playing with that. But he hunts out west a lot because he's I call it the back alley of the west. He's right there in middle of South Dakota. I can be Montana within 12 hours. So, but
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So the trad bow thing is gone because when I was shooting trad, this is 20 years ago. I used to shoot league and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I ran around with a bunch of trad guys, and we all hunted trad. Most of the bows are pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Black Widow was the dominant brand. 21st Century was probably second.
Yep.
It may have overtaken them for a while. I don't know anything about what's going on now. I just know I saw the draw weights, and the 42 pounds is like a normal person's bow. Are most people running carbon laminates in them to zip them up?
Yep. Oh, I can't
remember what Ed told me because Ed shot like 85 pounds, but he's a husky freaking fella.
Yeah.
And he had some kind of deformity in his right hand with his ring finger.
Yeah.
Where he couldn't open it.
Oh. Was he a dentist too?
Fully open it. He was an eye surgeon.
Eye surgeon?
And he said the heavier draw weights just pulled out of his hand better.
Yeah.
And so, but he could pull it. Howard Hill shot super heavy weights too, but they could pull it.
Yeah.
And 55 was probably about what everybody was running when I was doing it. And I had a couple of shorter bows. I had a D-shaped longbow that was 62 inches. It was terrible. I sold it.
A lot of hand.
And then I had a Reflex D-Flex that was, I don't know what brand it was. And then I have one D-shaped longbow made by a guy named Jeff Massey. He stopped building bows a long time ago.
All right.
And it's 64 inches, and it's Osage orange. And I have killed, holy smokes. It's got a little hand shock. It shoots it's a Reflex D-Flex grip.
Yeah.
It's a D bow. It's no reflex in the lens at all.
Yep.
It's a straight longbow. It's a little shocking. But I have killed so many things with that thing. It's just no, I don't care if it's a little shocking. Stuff dies.
That's like my buddy Bob Mason I shoot 3D with. He does. I don't. You know what barrel bow is, right? He does all field courses and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
shoot off top of your hand kind of deal, right?
No, his bow shoots off the shelf and everything like that. But I think it's more it's not Olympic style recurve because they use sights on Olympic. but it's all field course, and his bow, his rifle is made out of G10. Mike Roberts makes for him out of Sauk Trail Archery, and I call that the cinder block bow because it weighs so damn much. I don't like his bow, but I mean it's beautiful, but I don't like it. But it works for him. He said the same thing about my bow, and he goes, "Oh, this thing has a lot of hand shock, and I don't feel it." So I think it's like comes down to it. It's whatever bow fits you best. And same thing with compounds too. Like I have it's like I bought my dad Expedition compound. It's a company out of Iowa. When I was doing social media stuff for the Broadhead Barn in your state where you live, oh, I got a decent deal on it, and it was like a box deal bow. It built it overseas to keep the cost down. But that bow is like 3 pounds 4 ounces. Everything's adjustable with a Allen wrench, and it shoots over 300 feet per second with like a 400 grain arrow. But I built arrows off your specs for it, and they punch right through my 3D target.
Yeah.
So, and that's 652 grains. Those are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I've just been, like I said, I've been blown away with the trad thing. One of the funny things I get from the compound guys that it's been historically consistent.
Yeah.
When we were talking before we got on, you were like, "Man, you're either hated or in love. There's no middle."
Yeah.
And there's a couple of comments that are just hilarious. One is people will go into a shop and say, "Hey, I want to build like a 600 grain arrow and a single barrel." And the shop guys will say, "What are you going to do? Hunt freaking buffaloes?" By making that comment, you are now acknowledging that somebody is going to build an arrow that will shoot through a buffalo.
Yeah.
That damn thing will go through a deer.
Yeah.
However, the 400 grain arrow will have a little struggle with the buffalo unless everything is absolutely perfect, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, them heavy arrows that's a trad. The trad guys need that, and that's really not a very practical philosophical stance, because if you admit that you would want to increase arrow mass for a slower arrow, and you can increase that velocity by 50 or 60 feet per second, then the physics works in your favor going faster with a compound. So you basically admitted that it helps the trad guys. The compound world is all speed.
Yep.
Well, compared to a trad bow, you can get an adult arrow going 240 or 50 real easy. And if you're philosophically strong and think through what you just said, then it works good for the trad guys. And when you can get it going faster, it's going to work better for the compound guy. And I get a kick out of that because people just don't think through what they're saying.
Hang on, Troy. I'm going to grab a phone charger real quick. Hang on.
Okay.
Weevils behave. Oh. Are you still there?
Uh-huh.
I was thought my dog might have hung up. Sometimes you're a pain in the ass. But I don't get if you have all that velocity, why you wouldn't want to shoot a heavier arrow?
Yeah. It's just really, really hard. like I said, people aren't thinking about what they're saying. If you go in a shop and a guy says, "What are you going to hunt a buffalo?" then that means it'll kill stuff from a buffalo down.
Yeah.
You're saying that. You're literally saying that. Hang on.
Good night, Aurora.
Okay, so you do that, and then that same clown, whoever says that, we have potted so many pigs and white-tailed deer with a 243 that'll make your head spin.
Yeah.
Inside of 200, 100 grain bullet, anything, or core lock, whatever. It'll fold them up. Those guys will admit that, a 25-06, 6.5, 243 is a killer deer rifle.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because I got involved like 2 years ago on that same topic. What round has killed most deer in North America? I said the 22 long rifle, but nobody records it.
Oh, of course, yeah, you don't talk about that. We did that a lot. But probably 30-30's done it the most.
Yeah.
But that same guy, when he goes elk hunting, he's flying 300.
Yeah.
But they'll take their Twizzler sticks and they'll go elk hunting.
Yeah.
And it's not linear. I'm not knocking anybody. Sit back and think about that. When you go elk hunting, you're probably not taking a 243, which is a perfectly adequate white-tailed small mule deer rifle used within its 200 yards and control the shots a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You can't get too sloppy with it because the bullet's not that big.
Yeah.
6.5 freeboard's the same way. It's a great deer gun. And we know what happens on elk with them. You end up shooting them like 16 times. So
speaking of that,
300 weather, 300 just a regular 300 mag or a 7mm with a 150 or 180 in it. Everybody buys a cool elk rifle that's bigger.
Yeah.
But somehow in archery, it's just not that same mentality doesn't apply. I've got a friend, his Western rifle is a 300 Weatherby with 200 grain bullets.
Yeah. I used to do the 30.
That thing on mule deer look like they've been hit with a howitzer. You see their body just go, good God, what was that? And it just folds them up. And that's why he does it.
Yeah.
There's no tracking in the 300 Weatherby.
Yeah.
And he's had everything, 308s and 300 Winchester short mags and all the cool stuff. And I don't know why he didn't shoot the 338, but 300 Weatherby. But it's just a funny thing in this archery world that you don't apply the same mental nitpicking or logic to hunting arrows that you would do with guns. Like, if you're going in big bear country, take a 9mm.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
No, they don't.
They take 40s, they take 10mm, or they take a shotgun for big bears.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a 9mm?
Because you'll shoot it in the face and it'll wipe its face, take that round and throw it back at you and come and eat you.
I understand.
Yeah.
Point made, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that a 40 or a 10mm is good on a grizzly bear. That it's probably better, but a 44 Magnum is probably where you want to start. But if you can hit anything with it, but it's just that kind of a lot. If I talked to a guy who was going to go in big bear country, he would not take a 380.
No.
But he'll take an arrow that's a 380.
Yeah.
And I just can't square it. I probably ought to just do a whole freaking yap on my channel about that.
Maybe.
Because everybody's guilty of it.
Yeah.
A smart guy would buy a 300 Win mag and just shoot everything with it.
Yeah. Like, my mom's cousin gave me his old 30-06. I shouldn't say old because the thing's like new old stock. It's only shot like 3 times. And he bought it in 76 when he was stationed down in Louisiana when he was in the Air Force. And he goes, I had no use for it. I didn't end up deer hunting. Here you go. It's still in original plastic, and
Nice.
it's a Remington Woodmaster. It's semi-automatic, and people say they're a jam-o-matic, but they're. And my buddy that's a gunsmith said no. If you run like 100 rounds through it consistently, it's gonna jam. These guns weren't made to do that. They were made to be 2 shots and done. At that.
Yeah, right. They're not a high volume gun.
No.
Because the gas system. It's an 1100.
Yeah.
I think that's the same system as the 1100.
It is. I think it's
And 1100s are classically need cleaning because the gas suit is jammed up with a bunch of crap in it. I think that was the thing. I've been fortunate in my life to be around a bunch of world class skeet shooters and trap shooters that no one knows. And that F.H. Becker, one of the guys that told me about that, he said, if you get an 1100, it's a great skeet gun. You just need to learn to clean the thing about every 400 rounds. If you need to disassemble the thing and you keep it clean, and it's fine.
Yeah. He also gave me
my friend bought a not a Brett, a Benelli semi-automatic.
Okay.
30-06 for culling. You know, the ranch, he put a high fence up on them. We went in and got the permits from the state and just went to town on the white-tailed deer population. and that thing got jammed up on it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe well no, shotgun shells are dirtier than anything. They're not really good at burning powder. Not compared to rifle cartridges.
And he gave me
I don't think.
Like 1,500 rounds of that, and he just bought some too. And they're not heavy, they're heavy, but they're not like super heavy. And he has no sons. His grandkids don't want it. We will get the damn garbage. Sorry about that, Troy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to get them too. I don't like buying guns. I like to get them from people. I like them handed down with the stories and the dings and the stuff, you know.
He gave me a 8711, which is a semi-automatic. I think he's a Remington fan, to be honest with you. I don't want to know one, but it's a 12 gauge, and he goes, it'll handle 3-inch shells and goose hunt out of it, and it's a Premier. And my buddy goes, he just gave you this gun? I said, yeah. He don't like his son-in-law, so they ain't gonna get it.
Well, that's what's going to happen with all my stuff. It's all going to go down to the kids. And the fun thing about we are fortunate that the ranch and the kids have shot. I tell people all the time, I can't believe the grass grows off the back porch of the house because there's so many round ammo on the ground out there. Thousands and thousands and thousands of shells have been discharged off of either skeet or whatever.
Go ahead.
Most of the guns they'll inherit, they've shot 10 million times.
Yeah.
So they're even closer to them than I'll tell you a cool gun story. The first pig I ever killed in my life, I was about 10 years old. We were on the King Ranch with my Uncle Ronnie. And my Uncle Ronnie wasn't an uncle. He was my dad's best friend, but he was Uncle Ronnie.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he was one of the senior accountants for the King Ranch back when the family owned it.
Gotcha.
And so every year we'd go hunting on the King Ranch and with Ronnie. And we come around the corner, and there's this great big old boar out in this field. He said, come on, Troy, let's go shoot this pig. So I go out there, and I promptly shoot the pig in the jaw. And it's running along, and the gun disappears out of my hand, and Ronnie shoots it, and he goes, you got yourself a pig, you know?
Yeah.
Good job. And that 22-250 that I was shooting, Ronnie passed away about 10 or 15 years ago. His wife kept all his guns, and she gave it to me.
Yeah. 35
years later. I've got the gun that I killed the first pig ever in my life with. It's just a cool, any kind of heirloom like that is cool, you know?
Yeah. Well, my pump, I like, oh, crap, no, that's it. Oh, a Remington Palm. I think it's 870. That's what it is. I got that from my dad before he passed away, and he never shot it. He got that from his neighbor because he beat him in poker.
Yeah.
So I got that. Then my mom's cousin also gave me it's a Ruger 1022, but it looks like an old M1 Grand carbine. And
Yeah, there you go.
it's a tube mag, which that don't bother me. And my daughter's gonna go squirrel hunt with it this year. And
It's a 30 caliber.
no
Straight wall.
22, right? 22 long.
Oh,
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, man, it's not. My buddy Cody says when he sees these guns, everybody's already took the iron sights off it and put a scope on it. He goes, that original iron sight on there because you can raise it and lower it by twisting the knob. He goes, that sight on there is worth like $300. I'm going, yeah. Well, he also gave me my favorite gun he gave me was a Ruger 6-shooter, but he also gave me it can chamber 22 mags, 22 shorts, and 22 longs, and I have different cylinders to take different loads. That's probably my favorite gun he's ever gave me. Yeah, I like it. He don't have any kids. Like my one bow, I delaminated the limbs on my Martin Jaguar takedown, and I didn't have any. I just got laid off from work, and my son's best friend was at a garage sale, like 30 minutes away from here. He bought me a float tube because he knows I like to fly fish for $5, and then he brings me this. He goes, "I know your bow's messed up. Maybe you can straighten this limb out." He got me a Shakespeare Super Niceta and 55 pounds, and I shot a couple deer with that. And I like it, but yeah, I like it. It's a gesture. I'm never gonna sell it, and I'm looking at it right now. It's above my China hutch with like 4 other bows and 2 compounds. Then I got all these old compounds given to me because warfing bows used to be like a big thing like 8 years ago. Do you know what that is? Where they take a compound resin and put like they either turn it to ILF recurve or they put Simic sage or limbs on it. But then they machine the pockets and all that stuff, and I'm going to probably sell those at our bow hunter rummage sale or something like that at my archery club. But let's talk about fishing, because a lot of people just think you shooting heavy arrows, and I mean you put fishing stuff on your YouTube, but that's not what. If I say the ranch fair, he shoots a lot of pigs with heavy arrows. That's what people say.
I'm going to start posting some fishing content. I'm decided I'm going to do it. They say it's not a smart move that I should start another channel, and I've decided I don't give a shit what the YouTube says. So I'm just going to do it anyway.
You already have the fan base.
Well, it's just not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't really care when I started the channel. I was just like, whatever. Nobody's going to listen to this crap anyway. And it went where it went. So the fishing stuff is funny because I fish out of a really, really small boat on really, really small bodies of water.
Yeah.
And I do that because I'm trying to catch really big bass. And if I get on big bodies of water, you never know if you're around them.
Yeah.
But I fish on a 400-acre lake, 480 surface acres.
Now,
you're around them.
Now, do you have the Nintendo unit on board?
Yeah, I have a live scope.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I've got a scope, but it's the thing's covered in grass right now on the top, so you can't scope. What I'm having to do, I'm flipping right now a jig that weighs like an ounce and pounding on it pretty good. But the lake record was just broken. A guy caught a 14.4 out of that lake this spring.
That's a big feat. I don't fish for bass much, but that's big. I mean, I fish for smallmouth. I walleye fish. They're just a bycatch most of the time.
Well, I just can't. I can catch fish between. I've eliminated most of the fish under 3 pounds, and I can catch fish up to 6.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to catch the 6 to 12s, and I know I've got to be around them. I'm out there a ton, and there's no way you're not throwing by them.
No, they just
It's not physically possible to fish as much as I do and not have that lure going by a fish over 6 pounds every day. It's not possible because nobody kills bass.
no. It's frowned upon.
That might be the problem.
It might be. You got a point there.
There might be too many fish between 3 and 5.
Has anybody ever did like a lake survey on there where they're going and shock it ever or no?
I don't think the state's done that. I don't know anybody else who does, but since nobody kills them, there's a possibility. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of months. I caught a 5.3 the other day, and I got a 4. And I've been catching a 5 just about every trip I go. I catch a fish that's between 5 and 6 pounds, and then some other ones that are smaller, between 3 and 5. And I think that the 5s are getting it before the big ones do, because the freshmen don't hang out with the upperclassmen, right? So when you get around 5s and 6s, you're probably around 7s and 8s. I don't know if you're around 10s, but that's school. So I'm starting to believe that the 5s are acting like 2s in a normal lake. Like they go in and grab it. You know what I mean?
That's like my mom's boss's lake. We went up there. I didn't mean to cut you off, Troy. We went up there on vacation, and my kids, I think, my son was, I think, a freshman in high school or so. In between his freshman and sophomore summer, we went up there. My wife had to have her thyroid out because she had thyroid cancer, so we canceled our big Minnesota trip. And my mom's boss lives on this private lake, and there's no, you can paddle there, use a trolling motor in the lake. It's like crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in southern Wisconsin. It's man-made, obviously. But you're catching bluegill that are 10 to 12 inches, and they want you to keep them. So that the fish are all big. Well, I caught a bluegill that was 13 inches, but I fly fish. So all the kids thought that was stupid at first, and I was catching big bluegill on it. And the largemouth, like average largemouth bass catching there is like 15 to 17 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And so they picked up the fly rod and did it. So I'm out there at like 11 o'clock at night. It's dark, and I'm throwing a white popper. And all of a sudden I hear the toilet flush behind it. I can't see it. And I set the hook. It's the biggest bass I ever caught. He was like 7 pounds and 7.5 pounds. Fly rod. My stepdad, who came out here and got his brandy, because it's brandy time, obviously. He was on the upper deck. Goes, "What are you, snaked?" I said, "No. Wake one of the boys up, yell down and get him," because the boys were all staying downstairs. We took my son and his 2 best friends and my nephew, which they asked us, we're allowed up there again, but don't bring that many teenage boys up there. They were misbehaving on the lake and off the swimming platform. So, make a long story short, they come out and Eric nets this fish. My son's best friend, he goes, "That's the biggest damn fish I've ever seen." Well, 2 of the kids on the trip set their personal best bass back to back in like 20 minutes of us getting there. And it was, I don't think I would be able to get it, but I think you're right. They told me I could keep some of the bass out of there. So it's cool. It's cold water, so it doesn't. They don't. Have you ever ate largemouth?
Yeah, they're great.
I don't like up here. Every time I eat them, I can taste the weeds. I don't know if it's me or not. It might just be me. But I kept them in the wintertime ice fishing, and they taste fine. But you saltwater fish, don't you? A ton. Now, do you bleed your fish out? Ever?
I've started. I actually watched a video on how to properly kill a fish, and there's some ways to like break their spine and stuff that immediately stops all of their physical activities as they, all the electricity discharges out of their body that makes them beat better.
Yeah.
most of the time I'm driving a stringer and I'm away from the boat. But what I do is I rip their gill. I just cut their gill.
Yeah, you bleed them out. That's what I do. I just get in there and cut. I walleye fish, so I wade and walleye fish, and somewhere on my Instagram there's a test. I both walleyes were caught in the same body of water around 5 minutes of one another. They were the same length. I bled one and I didn't bleed the other one. Well, walleye is a white flesh fish anyway. Well, you could tell the difference because that fish was like powder white. And I started just bleeding out all my fish, bluegill and everything.
Yeah. I had never done it in the past.
Yeah.
For 35 years. And I don't kill a lot of fish in saltwater. What'll happen is I'll wound one, and I know he's not going to hook him in the gill or something, and treble hooks get down in the mouth or whatever and rattle around. And I know they're not going to make it, so then I'll catch another one. That's it. That's enough. It's just me and Julie.
What's your favorite fish to eat? Saltwater water.
Speckled trout.
Speckled trout.
Yeah, redfish are fine, but speckled trout is really, really good dinner fare. And then if you all you got to do is reach in there if you don't have a knife and just pop their gill.
Yeah.
And they'll bleed like a stuck pig, and it's over, right? And it kills them real fast. And, but this one video I saw, these guys like cut a notch right behind their head and then take a needle and stick it in and just go down their spine.
Yep, I think the Japanese do it with sushi. Or like, yep. There's a word for it that describes it. It's a Japanese word. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, but it absolutely shuts down all electrical activity. Just immediate. Not to mention you're going to bleed them, but it's just going to happen by doing that. And I have found, like I said, I'll catch two, and then when I get to the truck, I'll use that with a knife, and I'll just notch their gill and bleed them out a little bit, and then throw them in the ice chest, and then they're bleeding out in the ice. It doesn't matter. And cool them off real fast, and it seems to be better. But on the flip side of that, for 25 years, when we used to really kill them and put them in, limit and stuff, speckled trout's just good. It's like crappie. You don't have to do a lot to crappie.
No.
They're just good.
Yeah.
They're just delicious.
Do you eat sand bass down there?
I don't like it. The flesh is pretty stiff, like the texture's weird.
Yeah.
And they're a pain in the ass. They're kind of bony, and they're just not worth it. They're fun when they're schooling to catch 100 of them or whatever when they're going crazy. And just get out there with a little spoon or some hair jig and just wail on them. It's fun with a spinning rod and jack around with them. I don't like to eat them. I don't like to eat them, though.
Last fall, like, we walleye fish, and I'm in northern Illinois, but you know that. Like, all the predator fish are putting on a feed bag. So we were walleye fishing. We were catching big smallmouth, like 17 inches to 19 inches.
Are they any good to eat, smallmouth?
Yes, they are. If I just said that, my channel might get canceled.
Yeah, right. It's just like black bass down here.
Yeah, some people say that my buddy Hans, who we talked about earlier, like, I always heard they were part of like the sunfish family. Their genus got classed wrong, but you can genetically make them, like, you can take them in what's called a freaking fish hatchery. And you can crossbreed them with largemouth bass.
Yeah, I think we've got those here. They call them
meanmouth bass or some shit like that.
Yeah, meanmouths. They got them in some of our lakes.
And my buddy Hans used to live in oh crap, I can't think of it. It's like West Texas. He wasn't happy there. I can't think of it. I want to say I can't think of the name of it, damn it. But he was there with USDA for a while. And he goes, it would be crazy. He goes, he's from Wisconsin, and he fishes like the Winnebago chain, and they like their white bass run there is like world renowned. So if you get 1,000 fish in a day, or a week, that's average. No, that's gonna bother me. I can't think where it is. But he goes, some of these reservoirs had walleye in them, stocked in them, and he was catching like 27-inch walleye, and nobody else knew what to do with them. And they're good. Oh, I figure out. Like we have, I don't have redfish up here, but I have their cousin, the sheephead or the freshwater drum, or I think people down south call them Gasper-goos or something like that. And
right, so we've got the Gasper-goos here in the rivers, and they're in the lakes too. But in the rivers, they're much more voracious.
Oh yeah,
and you'll hook one and think you have hooked the bass that you have been looking for quite some time, and then you pull up an 8-pound freaking goo and you get a jig.
Have you ever ate one?
I've eaten them in salt water.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. With the puppy drum, so that's what we call them. They get huge herds in the summer.
Yeah.
And you can get out there and just beat the heck out of them. You can kill like 20 a day or something. It's ridiculous. The one that's humongous because nobody fishes for them.
Yeah.
And the ones under 20 inches are absolutely one of the best eaten fish in saltwater.
Now, do you get them on top water ever? Like
I've not done it that way. I've always caught them on jigs or they just catching them to catch them. And we'll catch them accidentally fishing for trout. And if we catch a drum under 20 inches, we kill every one of them.
Yeah.
They are delicious to eat.
I watched.
They get like 50 pounds. I caught one that was like 35 or 40. There's a run of them in the fall, in November, and there's guys that sit on the piers drinking beer and just catch absolutely enormous, 40-inch drum on half crabs.
Yeah, I mean,
and you just catch it for the picture of just a retarded giant, stupid-looking carp.
Like,
and you just catch it for fun.
We have like around here, people like throw pike back, and pike are really good to eat, northern pike, but people don't know how.
I haven't heard. I've heard mixed reviews on that, but maybe it's just not happening. Know how to do it.
You gotta know how to flay them. Like I do this thing called the 5 flay method. They have a back strap in them like deer, like any, like pigs have pork loins. But you cut right behind the gill, all the way down to the dorsal fin, and run that backbone all the way out. There's no bones in it.
And just pull the back strap out of them.
You can just pull a back strap out of them. I do a 5 flay method because they have wide bones in there. You just cut out the bones, I zipper them out, and they're way to go. They're good. They're not fishy, and it all comes down to like how you care for your. It's like how you care for your game in the field.
I know personally for fish, I prefer to eat them same day or next day and be done with it.
I've learned to throw.
I just got a vacuum sealer, so now I can cheat a little bit. But historically, I've called my wife and said I got 2 trout, and she says, "Great, I know what we're having for dinner. Trout almond meal." So stuff's been dead. The best ones I've ever eaten. We had a house on the bay her dad owned.
Yeah.
And I used to jump off the dock at dawn, wait out there, and the first trout I caught, some of them might have been short.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
The statute of limitations.
The first trout I caught, I'd rip his gills out and walk him up to the dock. I'd clean him, go upstairs, and pan fry it with butter and the breadcrumbs, and make fish tacos. And that thing, some of them I ate, and it was 40 minutes. Thing had been out of the water. Dude, nothing better. Nothing better.
My wife's family's from the lower peninsula, but up in like northern Michigan, and there's tons of trout streams. They live walking distance from the Manistee River, which is a like world-renowned trout stream. But I fish all like the feeder creeks. In July, they're like 50 degrees. People go, we're going to go in there wet weight. I said, you won't last 15 minutes. You got hypothermia.
Just to be clear, where you live, they're not creeks. But I think out west, they're creeks.
Yep, they're creeks out west.
Okay, they're creeks.
My grandma's from Missouri. My mom calls them a creek. I call them a creek. But
yeah, we call them creeks down here.
Yeah. Out west,
it's like
creek.
My neighbor's from Philly.
Yeah.
And they call the beach, you go to the shore.
Yep. My brother lives in Philly.
It's the coast. We call it the coast. You're going to the coast. I don't know why.
I call my brother Jersey Shores now. He gets mad. But he's 10 years and 1 day older than me. But they moved to Philly. I don't know if it's my brother's wife or his fiance. I don't know if they're married yet or not. Because they were gonna elope anyway. So her dad was a tenured professor at Penn State, and he passed away from cancer and left her the house and everything. So my brother was in Philly. He likes it there because he goes, I get
good for him.
I don't. Yeah, I can't.
I wouldn't want to live there for all the tea in China, dude. I ain't leaving Texas. That's for damn sure.
Like I like Illinois because where I sit, I can go fish. I can go east and fish Lake Michigan. I can go west and fish the Driftless area in Iowa. I don't know. Do you know what the Driftless area is when I say that?
Mm-mm.
It's the place where there's a small section in like northwest Illinois, southwest Wisconsin, south central or west central Wisconsin, Minnesota, some in Minnesota and some in Iowa. It's where the glaciers didn't go over. So you have ferns there that doesn't grow anywhere else in the world.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And it's tons of. There used to be a lot of brook trout in there, and that was always there. But then they introduced rainbows and browns and stuff like that. The water temperatures are getting warmer, so the brook trouts need cooler water to live. And but brown trouts everywhere. I mean,
you live in pretty good. That's pretty good hunting country too. You'll have big deer in that area.
yeah. And people bitch about taxes, and I go, wake up! It's 2025. Everything's fucking high. I'm going to bleep that out. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a Bears fan. It's just I know we suck, but it is what it is.
I'm not a fan of any of it. I just watch. I'm a peculiar sports guy. I'll watch the playoffs of anything.
Yeah, because
I don't watch anything else. My favorite weekend of football is it Thanksgiving weekend that they have all the bowls that they have all the rivalries, or is it the first week of December?
The first week of December. Well, I think they changed it.
That's when they have the Iron Bowl and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and all that. A&M plays Texas, which will happen again. I don't care about either one of them, but I like to watch those rivalry games because, man, it doesn't matter if somebody's 0-9. Somebody might lose.
Exactly.
Right?
Like
That's my favorite. And then I like to watch the Women's World Series when there's 8 teams left.
Yep.
I just keep watching the bracket. I don't pay attention to it. And then when there's 8 teams left, I watch.
Oklahoma's always in it because they play at their stadium. My stepdad watches it religiously. My daughter
They're
plays.
always in it.
My one daughter plays softball. My niece could have went and played Division I softball if she wanted to.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she could have went, but then she got in a fight at school at a party, and she she broke her hand and wrist punching this dude in the mouth and knocked him out.
Oh.
And she's not a big girl at all. She probably weighs 125 pounds, but her dad taught her to fight. And,
Good for him.
yeah, so
Hey, the dad.
yeah,
Right? That's my kind of dad right there.
yeah, and that's my brother that was in Philadelphia, and I
We
don't
had
know.
an interesting thing happen here. We had our football team. It took about 6 years. Texas high school football is legendary.
Yeah.
We have 20,000 seat stadiums, and it's ridiculous. And the kids have their own player cards. It's just really dumb. But when my kids were in high school, the local team here, Cedar Park, was they were in the state championship for 3 of the 4 years that my kids were in high school, and none of them played. But, when they're in the playoffs doing well, you go watch the
You
games.
don't watch it. 13. Yeah.
One season, they had gone to the state championship. I don't remember if they won or lost, but nonetheless, one season the whole offensive line was at a party, second game of the season, and they did something really stupid. I don't even know what it was. And the coach benched them for 4 games. He didn't even make them suit up. They wore their jerseys and sat out there with no shoulder pads,
Yep.
standing on the sidelines. Well, guess what? The second team kids got to play. They went like 2-2 or something, so they were still in it.
Yeah.
Right? Here comes the starters. The coach now has 2 O-lines that are trained.
Yeah.
They started running the ball, and they would switch the O-line every time they came off the field and go 100. They would go fast and run
Yep.
the first half
That's how you win.
and wear out the other team. And it would be like 12 to 7 at the end of the first. Except the other team wasn't ready for the recycled 5-man O-line that would just walk in and off and have a full blow for a whole set of downs or whatever, however far they went. And all of a sudden they'd score 40. It was ridiculous. And they would just run. And so by this sheer accident of these kids being idiots, they unlocked the cheat code. And that team did really, really well doing that.
You played
So
soccer, right?
I did, yeah, from the time I was 6 till I was 18.
So I played high school basketball and high school baseball because my mom would never sign the permission to let me play football. So I had cerebral palsy. But man, like
Yeah.
you said, we ran meat. We call it meat grinders. So it'd be like baseline, free throw line, half court, back, and you had to do it under so many seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, but we could run the floor. It was It was not horrible. It was good, but man, and I went to a private school, and we just outplayed them.
There's something to be said for that, and
It's
they
stamina.
have all kinds. But that one year that those kids screwed up, and all of a sudden the coach had 2 offenses essentially, and you could just run. You could just run, grind, and just wear people out. And all of a sudden, in the second half, the running back would just get free because everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Same play, defense was good, but they're 1/2 step slow.
My
And
go ahead.
the whole O-line is feeling like they just walked on the field.
Like there was when I played sports, there's always this one guy that stood out. Like he was a 3-4 sport athlete. Well, we played against him we played against the school all the time. His name's Sean Constantine. But I played like summer league basketball in there, and it still would be all the schools in our division. But the coach would split up the players. So we wouldn't play on our team. We played with different players around it. So I got paired with him. Well, this dude probably could have played Division I basketball. He was a great shortstop, but he ended up playing football. Well, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, one with the Seattle Seahawks and one with the Philadelphia Eagles. And now he's back here. And I know who he is. I was a sophomore. He was a senior. And I always played summer league in Byron. And make a long story short is I had to go get physical therapy in there because it's 5 minutes from my house. Like I live in the country, so I'm not really in Rockford. So my kids go to Rockford School District. So I wish we lived the other side of Meridian Road. So they go to Byron or Winnebago, but I can't change that. But I was in there talking to him, and we were sitting there talking, and he hunts. He's a big turkey hunter, and me and him were talking hunting and fishing and all that stuff, and it's all like he was riding a bike watching Sports Center, and I'm riding a bike watching Sports Center, and this guy comes and goes, "Oh, you're Sean Constantine." How started talking football. He packed up and left because he said that chapter's done in his life. And that's what everybody wants to talk about. He goes, my real passion's hunting and fishing. Well, guess what? He owns a sausage shop now. It's actually a full butcher shop. But now he coaches the football team at the high school, and they're freaking good. They are really good. They, like you said, I think they have 3 offensive lines, to be honest with you, because they cycle people in every single play.
That's definitely a cheat code. I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised that with the length of the NFL season, that somebody hasn't started doing that because if you're on an NFL team, everybody's great,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm surprised somebody hasn't
I don't know why.
done that.
I don't know why they don't do it. I mean, I see it on defense a lot, but not.
I think unfortunately they sign deals in all the starters' contracts for performance bonuses and Super Bowls and national champ. Win the first, win the AFC, win this, win that.
Yeah.
So they don't want to come off. They can't afford to take them off the field because they'll complain that they weren't allowed the playing time to hit whatever targets they have, which of course means you're probably going to blow a knee in 3 years and then you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so
you don't,
part of it, man.
Yeah, you don't hunt deer anymore, right?
Not really.
Not really.
I'm not mad at him anymore. I'm going to go deer hunting in Arizona this December, I think.
That's a whole nother game.
I drew a tag out there, so I might do that, but I don't deer hunt anymore.
Bow or archery or rifle? Archery. You taking the stick bow along with or no?
I may actually try to do that. Sometimes be more reasonable because the shots will probably be everything I've heard and read and listened to the best, Western guys who aren't just some YouTube, here I am smacking my own head on the thing, but some YouTube hunting super guy who decides he's great. But the old time guys, Homer and those guys, if you just listen to them, it sounds like 35 to 45, 50 is kind of their perimeter of okay.
Yeah.
And then you try to get inside that, and it gets 40 for some reason.
My buddy Shane, he owns Great Plains Bows. I already told you that, but he bought you've hunted mule deer, right?
Yeah.
He lives in Kansas, and I guess he has a nice herd near him, and he doesn't ever get time to do it. But he bought a Halloween mask because you don't do it during gun season. But he walked with 10 yards through the tall grass to a mule deer buck and shot it.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like I've heard antelope, like you can wave a white game bag, and they'll come back. And supposedly with caribou, it's the same thing too. But I have antelope preference points for South Dakota archery because that's what I mostly hunt. And I'm gonna put in more preference points so when I get ready to go, I can just go.
Yeah, you're going.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's good stuff.
I don't know. And I have friends that hunt bear and all that stuff. And they're like, "You gotta do it." But I don't want to. I would rather do it with dogs. And my wife's family they do have bear dogs up there in Michigan. I don't want to hunt over bait because I can't. I've never hunted over bait, but because I can't do it in Illinois. And I couldn't do it in Arkansas with my dad when I would hunt down there with my dad because it wasn't legal. You could run a feeder all along up until deer season there in Arkansas.
No kidding.
Yep. I don't know.
I'm surprised. There's more states than I realize that have deer feeders. Like Oregon, you can hunt with a deer feeder out there. I didn't know that. There's a bunch of states that you don't hear about. The deer feeder thing. Texas kind of gets, has its own. It's just the way we do it.
Yeah.
Except for deep South Texas.
You can't.
There is a section of South Texas where there's about 10 ranches, and they probably encompass 4 million acres.
Yeah.
Amongst 10 ranches.
That's the sort of Yellowstone.
And in that particular section around the King Ranch and the Kennedy Ranch, right on the coast, it is the ultimate insult to have a deer feeder on the place.
Now,
they don't even have deer blinds. They shoot them safari style.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. That was the next thing I was going to ask you too, because I saw you with Steve Ranella doing that. I almost said Aoudad, but I know that's not what it is. It said Nilgai. Are those things tougher to kill than a Cape buffalo?
No.
No, okay.
No, they're not. They're not that. I was surprised when we did the necropsy on his, how they're not that. They're not much to them. They're just big. It's the same thing we started with, and I guess we can land the plane on that for this evening. It's just you're going to take a deer arrow and go hunt something that's 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's just not an appropriate weapon for the bone structure of an elk-sized animal. They're elk-sized.
Okay.
They're cow elk-sized. They're not bull elk-sized.
Okay.
And they don't have the hair of an elk. But their skin's real thin. I was pretty surprised at that. Ribs were pretty thick, but not anything crazy. But still an animal that probably needs some upgrade. And mostly you need that for... They did not put out the video of my necropsy of that Neil guy, and I wish they would have, because the one that Giannis killed, there were two bulls fighting over a cow, and a third bull was doing donuts around him, and he walked right in front of Giannis. Out of his mind. Right? Just not paying attention to anything.
Yep.
And Giannis shot him at 25 yards or so, right, and he was quartering away and turning. And the arrow hit right in front of his hip, which was the right angle.
Yeah.
Just accidentally, he kept turning and just turned almost straight away from Giannis by the time the arrow got there. Huh. The arrow disappeared into the bull. It went 60 yards and rolled up. The first 22 inches of penetration was the stomach and the liver. So, well, eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
No blood trail either, right?
Yeah.
It penetrated 40 inches.
Oh, shit.
The last 16 or 18 inches of penetration was through the diaphragm, hit both lungs, cut top the heart off.
Huh. And
that's what rolled it up.
Yeah.
And the broadhead was pushing the skin out on his neck like a bullet caught in the hide. Right between his front legs, the skin was pushed out. And that was a 650 grain arrow with a single bevel on it.
Now, I bought
and in that case, the most lethal part of that arrow's flight path was the last 16 inches of 40 inches of penetration.
Huh.
Shot through its stomach was just full of grass.
That's crazy.
Mechanical would have slowed down like a brick in that hay.
Yeah.
And a lighter arrow system may or may not have penetrated far enough to really be lethal. But that broadhead, it was like at least 5 feet of penetration, 4.5. But it was just like, it was 40 inches of penetration. I put a tape on it. I forgot they're kind of short front to back.
Yeah.
And the last 16 rolled that thing up in 60 yards. If it would have gone in 3/4 of the arrow, it would have looked really good. You'd have never found it. It'd have run. There would have been no blood trail because it was in the stomach.
Yeah.
Well, grass is just going to wad up and soak up any blood trying to come backwards. And it's going to run around with an arrow.
Yeah.
But it would have looked good.
It would look good.
A 30-inch arrow burying in there 22 inches would have looked real good. And that's just one of those hits where all this Plan B stuff comes together.
Shoot heavier arrows, they can penetrate more and they do more damage. I just wish they would have put that up. We had 3 cameras, professional cameraman. We had overhead camera, had a tape measure. It was a beautiful example. Did you ask them why I never did?
They just decided not to. They told me.
Okay.
I was surprised because it's a really great example of that. I mean, we'll land the plane on this one. I just did a podcast with Ed and a guy in Australia, R&R Outfitters, and Rob Nielsen from the foundation is going to go hunting with him, and they're going to shoot some buffaloes with a rifle and do some more testing like Ed used to do, but we're doing the compound. Okay. And he brought that up. Robert brought that up on his own. Huh. So a buffalo is long.
Yeah.
They're brand bull size, right?
Yeah.
And he said, man, on that quarter away shot, if you don't get the whole arrow in them and have it disappear, you'll never find them. And he kind of brought that up in the conversation. I didn't really preempt him for that. He does not actually like quartering away shots on buffaloes. He said, first of all, the ribs overlap.
Yeah.
So they tend to make the arrows skip.
Huh.
They literally touch together.
How does that work? So you got to break ribs to kill them.
Right. So he said, I prefer a broadside shot. He said their lungs are very tall. So I actually prefer people to shoot them lower third or at vertical mid body.
Gotcha.
A little higher than you would expect is death. And he said, I like broadside shots because the distance to the other side of the animal is only 24 inches. Whereas if you take them quartering away and their stomach's full, your broadhead's got to fight through all that and then keep going. And apparently he's seen a lot of them with what looks like a great arrow in them, except they're 7 feet long.
Gotcha. I was
Long way to go.
going to let you know about this. This company down to you, it's called Edge Tech. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
They make a 740 grain single bevel broadhead.
Yeah.
I don't know what arrow you're shooting that on.
That'd be really difficult.
Yeah. But he's a cross.
Most of those guys that do that make them way too big and stuff, and
Yeah.
they're probably hoping to sell them to the third, the 150 elephant hunters or something. But the ones I've seen that are that heavy are just impractical.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be on my podcast, but never got back to me because I had Ron Clausey on from Stay Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one that told me about it. We were talking about how he got started doing this and making all these sharpening jigs and all that stuff. And he said, "Yeah, I had to make one for this Edge Tech. The broadhead's 700 grand." You go, "What? Why?" I mean, I get it, but why? Then he goes, "Dude,
there's always people wanting to be the extreme everything."
Yeah, and he's a crossbow guy, and I tracked a couple deer that were shot with a crossbow this year or last year for the Sportsman's Club, and they were using what do you call them? Spinner doodles, like
Twizzler sticks.
Twizzler sticks.
Mechanicals, yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, "I don't know. It punched all the way through, and I found it a deer." I go, yeah, because it punched all the way through before the other blades could open up because it's moving so damn fast.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm not a mechanical guy, and I try to tell him, and I told him, go get yourself a fixed blade broadhead and learn how to shoot off tune your arrows to your crossbow, and he did. He got like 3 more deer. He's shooting single bevels and no. Knock it off. Sorry about that. My dog's starting to whine.
No problem. Well, I gotta go. So that's a good story that guy's doing better with the real broadhead. That's a great way to finish it there.
All right, but yeah, I gotta get a fly rod in your hands one of these days.
We'll see about that.
You're like, no, I don't need to go down that path.
I don't need another freaking rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, you do.
No.
But I appreciate it.
It's been good, man, and I appreciate it. And if you get a fly rod in my hands, I'd love to come see.
All right.
How's that?
That works. Hey, when I'll give you a shot when I'm down in Texas. My wife's uncle is in. I know it's probably not close to you, Dallas Fort Worth area.
That's 3 or 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Everything's big here.
Everything's big there. But yeah, I appreciate it, Troy. I'll holler at you again, and I'll send you fish pictures. You keep sending me fish pictures, and we can go from there. Thank you, Troy.
All right, man.
Have a nice night.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.